Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4 bike rack carrier here in the back of our 2020 Ford Escape. Now guys, this can be a nice little way of giving yourself a decent little hanging style rack to get your bikes to your destination or wherever the road might be taking you. Now you are getting a very nice subset in between these cradles. As you guys can see, pretty good spacing between each of our bike. That way we can go ahead, get our 4 bikes up on here with hopefully reducing a lot of the contact we're gonna have. Now with any hanging style rack, you're gonna have sway. Your bikes are staying in on these two dual arm supports, and as you guys are gonna see, you're gonna have just a little bit of this walking back and forth. However, with the natural road shake of our vehicle and with our anti-sway cradles here on the very side, these are going to do a great little job of hopefully reducing the movement our bike's going to have. So you guys can see it's definitely still going to move. However, it quickly brings it back in line and really reduces the overall movement that it's going to have, which is great to see. So love to see that, of course, being on those hanging style racks. Now you are having 150 pound weight capacity overall for your bikes. That puts you about 37.5 pounds per bike up on here, which should be decent for most of our standard road bikes and even into that mountain bike range of transporting whatever we need to where we're going. On the very end tier 2, you are seeing 2 little knobs. Both of those can be great for your little bottle openers. That way you can enjoy your favorite beverage wherever you might be on the road. Now the cradles themselves are pretty nice. You have Yakima's little zip strip technology. These guys are excellent of just simply slotting through. Once you have your frame set, bringing them right down on top of it. It becomes nice and secure. Won't be coming undone unless, of course, you press in on those levers. And that can go ahead and give us a closer look here at our cradles. You're seeing a nice little kind of padded elements here. That's going to go ahead, be great for holding onto your bike. And you also do have that nice little inner groove. Hopefully, you can fit your brake line cables inside there. And that way, that kind of reduces some of the friction that you're going to have. Therefore, your paint's going to be staying nicer for the years to come. Well, a couple other issues you might run into with this guy. If you are looking to transport your carbon frame bike, unfortunately, hanging style probably just not going to be a great option for you, as you are going to have frame contact that can end up warping and deteriorating those carbon frames. And a couple other things to look out for. If you have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or kids' bikes, you might have a slight issue getting this horizontal purchase to work for you. So if you have any irregularities in that frame for yourself on your bike, you may need a bike adapter bar. They're very, very easy to use. They just give you a great little horizontal element to get your bike situated on here. And it can be nice too just to go ahead and make sure that your bikes sit properly on here. If it's at an angle, sometimes they just don't like to sit as well. They move a little bit more, and that can be a nice way of giving you as a nice stable element to go ahead and secure to our bike carrier here today. Well, to get our bike off doesn't take too much time at all. We're just simply going to come right up to those zip strips like we did before, pressing in our levers and lifting straight up out of the way. Now the only thing I'll say with these guys, could be a little easy to lose, so make sure you are putting them in your pocket somewhere where we're not going to be too forgetful, and then we can go ahead and start working that guy out just like so. Get our anti-sway kind of pushed up out of the way to make our dismount easier, and then simply grab our bike and walk it off all the way. So mounting it becomes just as easy. We just simply walk it right up. And especially with the zip strips, being able to take it out and store it in a pocket somewhere makes it really easy to go ahead, set it here on your cradles, and then just bring your ratchets down whenever you are ready. It doesn't take any time at all, which I do love to see. So one thing that's nice about it though, you are seeing that you are kind of hanging right within your windshield in that area. So keep in mind, you're losing about half of that back window kind of viewing area as you do have the bike up on there. And since our backup camera is going to be right here, I think we're going to lose almost 75% of that viewing in that northern action on our cam, and especially with it just being right in line here with that center post, I think we are going to lose a lot of our vision with that backup camera. However, that's something that's going to happen kind of no matter whatever style you get. Now, one thing that might be better for these is going to be your platform style racks, as they're not going to be quite as much in the way. Hopefully you can go ahead and get them below. But just keep in mind, with any kind of bike rack carrier, you're going to start impacting that vision just a little bit. But we can go ahead and see what our dimensions are going to be. We definitely do have somewhat of a little longer vehicle here. So let's see how much length we're adding to the back of our Escape here today. So from the rear of our vehicle to the very end is going to be putting us right about 38 inches extended from the back of our vehicle there. So definitely not the longest, definitely not the shortest out there, and we do have a way of quickly shortening this down. At the top here, we're going to have this gray little tab. All we got to do, pull that guy like so. That's going to go ahead and allow our arms to swing in. Now you can see the strip is just a little bit in the way. I'm going to go ahead and set that guy like so. It's going to clip in and go ahead and secure itself there. I don't have to do anything else other than walk it down. You're going to have a little bit of movement here with your arms in this position. However, it's kind of smoothless, or seamless and pretty smooth. So I don't think we're going to have any kind of movement or feel it or hear it as we're moving. You might have a little jiggle here, but nothing that's really going to be impacting us as we drive, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and set those arms back as far as I can and go ahead and see what our length is now from the rear of our vehicle. From the very back of the bumper here to the very end looks to be putting us, when we are at the furthest point, naturally about right under 13 inches there, so about 12 3/4 to the very end of our post. We can go ahead and bring those strips in just a little bit. Now, one little trick with these strips as well, guys, if you want, you can find yourself pulling them off, especially if you know that weather is going to be coming and you want to keep these guys working for a long time. You can go ahead, get these out, store them inside your vehicle, and then utilize them when they're in use. And also, a big thing, rotate them. If you find yourself only using those back two a lot of time, go ahead and change out the front ones. That way we're not wearing and tearing one set to where they don't work anymore. And that way you're just rotating them, getting that extra length out of them. So, but now that we've gone ahead and shortened that down, now we can at least get this in the garage, or at least a little bit more maneuverability, which is great. Sorry to backtrack on you. I just do like giving that little trip for everybody. Now, with this also folded up in this position, we also are going to have our way to access our cargo. So right here at the top, we're going to have this little black element now, kind of the same kind of lever design. All we want to do, simply pull that guy like so. And that's going to go ahead and allow my entirety of the mast to swing down out of the way. Now I can grab right here, open up my hatch, and now I got full access to my coolers, helmets, anything I might need here in the back of the spacious Escape. Can be a nice little way too of sitting down, changing your shoes, whatever you might need, or just a nice little place to relax. So love that we still have that quick and easy access. However, still having to remove the bikes. If you're not wanting to remove your bikes and you want a carrier that kind of gets out of the way, watch your hand on that as it closes. If you're looking for a carrier that gets out of the way, you're probably going to look again at those platform style racks that can actually tilt with your bike on it, and that is going to be a lot more of a premium item. So still nice that we have that quick, easy access. Just not going to be great for like gas stations or anything like that, but if we are at a trailhead, we can go ahead and access our cargo. Moving our way to the inside here, though, we can go ahead and see our clearance here at the very bottom towards our anti-rattle device. So from the ground to the very end here is going to be putting us right at about 10.5 inches there. So that's not a lot of clearance here. We're not getting too much rise from our hitch. However, we are pretty close to our axle, so just keep in mind as your front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch-mounted accessories. As long as we're being conscious of it and not tackling too steep of a grade of incline, I think we're going to be okay. And especially with our bikes hanging up, since it's a hanging style rack, I'm not going to be too worried about our bikes making any kind of contact. But with only 10.5 inches there, that's definitely something I'd be a little conscious of, just if you do find yourself getting a little crazy in the vehicle. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. Moving our way to the inside, though, you can see we do have our 1.25 inch shank here naturally. However, we are utilizing a 2-inch sleeve converter, allowing us to utilize our 2-inch hitch here. Now we do have our alignment pin here set up, and that goes ahead and make sure we're set properly inside our hitch. And that's going to bring us to our anti-rattle device right here in the end. So one awesome little thing, you are seeing a locking core on there, so we can go ahead and make sure that our carrier stays attached to our vehicle when we leave it unattended. And all we got to do is tighten this righty-tighty, of course. That's going to bring this all in line to one system, making for a smoother ride for ourselves. As you guys can see, as I shake this, the entirety of the Escape is moving. That means we're all in line with one system, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, bike rack, and especially our bikes. And again, however much you can combat that sway, it really, really helps. One thing that's nice about this corner, or this triangle being right on the outside as well, I'm not having to reach underneath my hitch. There's no tools I even have to do to get this guy on. All I have to do, walk this up in my hitch, align it with that pin, start tightening it down, and it's nice and secure. I don't have to have a ratchet, hex bolt, whatever. It's good to go. Now, one last little thing too about that locking core, there are actually a couple locks you can actually get for the Ridgeback as well, which is Yakima handcuff system. That's going to give you a nice little cable lock system to go ahead and start securing your bikes to your carrier as well. And you can get that key to like utilizing Yakima's same key system. So I think that's a nice little thing with the Ridgeback. You know, if I'm comparing this to some other things, I might go ahead and naturally look at the Thule Hitching Post Pro. Now, I really do like that hanging style rack. You're getting a lot of the same features you see here today. However, it's a little bit more lacking on the security element. However, it can be a little bit nicer to the bank account. So that would be one if you're liking this style, but you're like not completely convinced yet on it. highly recommend giving that carrier a look. It's going to put you around the same area, give you a lot of the same features. Now it's going to be a bit more of a pin and clip system for the dismount, but pretty much everything's the same, just has a little bit of a different look. But this guy's still going to do a great little job for you guys if you're looking for a way of getting 4 bikes to your destination in a nice, consistent manner. I really like the zip strips on these guys. They make it really easy to use. Get your bike up on there, cinch it down, and then you're not worried about a strip that's cracking or tearing or breaking. We can just go ahead, get those nice and secure, and they're right there ready for us to use. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4 bike rack carrier here on our 2020 Ford Escape. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.